All right, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is the meeting of the Transportation Committee. Today is Monday, January 10th. Our first item of business is approval of the minutes from the December 13th meeting. If there are no additions or corrections, we'll consider a motion to approve those.
I move approval of the December 13th, 2021 minutes.
All right. Second, all in favor say aye. Aye. That motion passes. Next item of business is a new CNPC application for Pinnacle Transportation Group for a Jitney shuttle license. Detective Pitts.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, we have a new application for a Jitney shuttle service to operate in the city of Birmingham, Pinnacle Transportation Group, Incorporated. And Mr. Chairman, this applicant has met the necessary requirements to move forward with the application.
All right. Is Mr. Epstein present? Sure. So this is in connection with St. Vincent's Hospital, correct? It's in connection with St. Vincent's Hospital?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll provide the employee transportation from the Child Health Care Center to the parking facility, and then from the north area in the front to their big lot on 3rd Avenue. So it's a total of 5 buses. 4 will be on the route at any given time, with 1 as a backup bus.
Okay, so I'm not completely familiar with all of their facilities. So there's like a remote parking lot on 3rd Avenue South.
Yes. They have two remote parking areas. And I'm sorry. Yeah, one is on 3rd Avenue, or actually it's 3405 4th Avenue South.
Okay.
So this is a copy of the route.
I
So
see.
basically you go up University and then you make a left on 32nd and then head into the 4th Avenue parking facility, and then you come back through 6th Avenue and then come in through 24th Street, which turns into 10th, and come around the hospital.
Okay.
And then the other route is a very simple route that just runs from the healthcare center and goes up to 2800 University Boulevard.
Okay. Indeed, this is strictly for the employees. There's no patients or...
No. This is strictly for the nurses. The
Okay.
doctors have the parking facility. So they park in the parking facilities, but the nurses park in these lots. Mm-hmm. And then the associates that also clean, cook, stuff like that. The people handle everything inside the hospital.
Okay. So there's, I assume that you're doing this under contract with
Yes. Yeah,
St.
it's a
Vincent's? All right.
contract.
So there's no
Right.
cash being exchanged or anything?
My business partner and I handle the transportation. I own the transportation side of the business. He is handling the parking management, the cleaning and upkeep of the parking garage, handling all the funds, the valet service, everything on the parking management, that's there. And then I do the shuttle.
Okay. Council Woods, do you have any questions? All right. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. So
we're under a contract. Kendra Reese is the director of operations. So this has been already almost a year. We've gone on the contract. We've gone back and forth, signed the contract, and the start date January 31st.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
But you say you had an executed contract? You did have an executed contract? You do have an executed contract, you said?
Copy of the contract?
No, I'm just saying it's executed.
I can't, I'm sorry.
You have an executed contract?
What was that?
A signed contract?
Yes, it's signed.
Okay.
Signed contract, yes.
Thank you. I move approval of the
All right,
certificate.
second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That motion passes. Thank you. And this
Very
will,
much.
this will come before the city council. So we're recommending it to the city council. So it'll come before the city council in roughly 2 weeks.
Right, Officer Pitts and I have been in contact for a long period of time now. So he told me I come here and then.
Right.
And then it has to go to the mayor to sign off.
Right.
And so I recognize everything, and then I'll deal with Officer Pitts on the permits, the payment, and getting everything
Right.
secured and legal and all that good
Yep.
stuff. We appreciate you. Thank you
Yep.
very, very much. We look forward to working here in Birmingham.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Pitts.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have a new application for CP&C for executive sedan service for Classy Elegance Detective Pitts.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, Classy Elegance LLC submitted a new application for executive sedan service to operate in the city of Birmingham, and this applicant has met the necessary requirements to move forward with the application.
All right. Ms. Tara Small is the owner. Are you, come forward. Good evening. So it's pretty straightforward, but this is your opportunity to tell us about your business and, get some free advertising, I guess. You have to speak into the mic.
What my business is consist of, I have two vehicles right now. One would be a Mercedes. What I would be doing is call and trying to get from here to Atlanta, the airport. You will call and say, Councilman, are you available to pick me up? I would do the rate as far as stops. It's not Uber. It's not like Uber, but it's more of a luxury establishment. Where, you won't have to wait. You can be there, I'm there. You tell me you got to get another destination.
Okay. Council Woods, do you have any questions?
No, I think Councilor Quinn would definitely want to escalate. I think I'll go ahead and move approval of this application.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
That motion passes. Thank you. And again, it'll be a couple of weeks probably before it'll show up on the council agenda.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, next item of business is intergovernmental agreement with Birmingham, Jefferson County Transit Authority, and the City of Birmingham to purchase passenger information technology systems and passenger information display systems. Who's going to be talking to us about that? Submitted that to us. I think it was BJCTA that actually, on the paperwork, there's the guy from the BJCTA's.
Who sent it? Submitted to Champagne Christian? Is that our
Tyler Pearson. Okay. All right, so in the meantime, we're going to move on, and under new and old business, Attorney Bernard asked to come back and talk to us about the public space permitting ordinance.
I emailed
Yeah.
copies that, you got it?
Yes.
Okay, I printed, that's why I was running late, is it? I printed them out. So, Julie Bernard with the Office of City Attorney. And Councilor Quinn, you and I talked back before the holidays about we had wanted, and Ms. Argo and I have looked at this, we wanted something that gave a little more definition. We still have not put really specific design standards in the ordinance, but we've added some language, particularly on page 3, I think I may have missed referencing that in the email, of the ordinance to reference back to what's in the design guide about providing specification sheets for the furniture and things that will be submitted. We added some language in that they need to be in harmony, with existing architectural elements, the streetscape, and other site furnishings there, and added something similar to that effect on page 4. We had already said it needs to maintain, that it needs to blend with buildings and activities of the area. We added streetscape just so that we have something to point to if something that they're proposing is just way out of character with the area that it's in, to give staff something they can point to. Tweaked a little bit in the language under number 2 about how they should present their diagram. And we have on page 4 of the design document, and I believe it's page 7 of the ordinance, we shifted the time for when the initial application needs to be in from February 1st to February 15th, just because we're a little bit behind the time curve of where we had planned to be, to just give the businesses a little more time to digest it and work with it.
Okay.
And we would like to go ahead and submit it this Wednesday to be on council for next week, if that's the pleasure of the committee.
Yeah, very good. I like the very clear graphic in here that talks about 5 feet of unobstructed space for passage of pedestrian traffic. These are good. So really the only changes were the date for submission, and then some additional clarity on the design aesthetic. So, all right. So we already, in the previous meeting, recommended it, with acknowledgement that there would be some tweaks to the language. So no action necessary, I would assume, today, just as providing an update.
Right, just wanted to update and let you know we will advance it for next Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Colin, were you able to get in touch with Director Fowler?
Colin Alexander, planner with Department of Transportation. We are not aware of what this item is from the Department of Transportation's perspective. James, Director Fowler believes it's probably associated with the BRT, so it's probably a capital projects item, but we couldn't get a hold of Denise Bell.
Right, okay. Well, I'm sure this is probably an item that is somewhat time sensitive, so let's take a moment to try and get in touch with them.
Wanted to see what kind of, I know we have had Park Mobile in for a while, and to see if there was like a update that we could see kind of correlating revenue, revenues associated since we've implemented that system versus before. And just kind of want to request the update around those things.
Yeah, so I believe it was last Monday, I sent Director Fowler and Kevin Moore, actually also our acting Director of Finance, a request to provide an update at this meeting. But I didn't get a response, so we'll continue pushing on that to try and get that done. Chief Mitchell, do you have any information for us on this?
What's the it's the item?
It's the city's match for the information kiosk for the BRT system.
Oh, okay. So if you recall, Council, excuse me, I'm catching my breath.
Sure.
Thank you, Council Woods, for the assist. So if you recall, when we asked the council for additional funding for the BRT system because we had it underfunded due to cost overrides from the COVID-19 pandemic, our initial cost that we asked from the city was to help us finish the roadway project, which was close to, I think it was $7.2 million. And I know in those discussions, the council also felt like if we were going to use some of our CARES funding to go ahead and make the system fully operational. So the difference was that amount that we needed to do the signage and to do the ticket machines at each stop. Because initially we were only going to have ticket machines at, I think, the main terminals, which was the west terminus and the east terminus, and once it got to the actual BJCTA turnaround spot. So the item that's before the council is actually to do the actual ticket vending machines at all the stops. I believe that the amount that's before the council is an addendum, not like a change order, but the prices did go up, but we still have enough money to cover it. And that's just because of the supply chain issues that we're having with anything dealing with the BRT. So that's what's before the council, and hope that hopefully suffices, but we will make sure to have somebody at council meeting tomorrow to talk about it, because it is on the council agenda tomorrow. I think it is. If not, it's on Budget and Finance Day also.
Okay. All right. So just for the purposes of public information, let me read this, the description of the item out, provide a little additional information. This is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into and intergovernmental agreement with the Birmingham Jefferson County Transit Authority and the City of Birmingham for the purchase and installation of passenger information technology systems and passenger information display systems at both transit centers and at all 32 transit stations, and provide marketing services to support the Birmingham Express BRT project. The City of Birmingham will provide funding to the BJCTA for the purchase and installation of the PITS and PIDS systems for the BRT project using Tiger Grant funds in the amount of $482,436 and the city matching funds in the amount of $482,436 for a total amount not to exceed $964,872. These will be, so this is money that we already approved in the allocation of the, it was actually ARPA funds that came out of, right?
Yes, it was the combination of the ARPA funds and then our grant match funds. So we kind of tried to separate those two because with the actual grant application that we got from the transportation department, we have to separate our actual match from the $20 million that they gave us. And then outside of that $20 million that the city match, we have the ARPA funds that help for the cost overrides.
Okay. Yeah, so this is not redundant. We're just identifying the specific use of the money.
That's correct. It's for compliance and accounting purposes. Yes, sir.
So just for the public's information, these are not only going to be ticketing stations, but there will be public information display kiosk with touch screens so that you can get other information. There are also, I'm sure, be opportunities for marketing and there. So
and then it'll have the actual ETA locations of when the buses are scheduled to arrive and depart.
Right. So some of you may remember from the BRT presentations a long time ago that they were going to have like a little display meter that actually gave you an indication of how close the bus was to the transit stop. So that's part of this proposal. And all of this is really great because it's going to be, something that's going to be very visible, that's high tech. I'm particularly interested, or excited about the information kiosk. The BJCTA is one of those agencies that has sort of an exception in the city's signage ordinance that they can do advertising, which in other city right-of-way public property, that's not the case. So I'm glad that we're finally getting some high-tech information kiosk, however we can get it done. So this is going to be great. So we need to take action on this. So what's your pleasure, Councilor Woods?
I'll move approval.
All right, I second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that motion passes.
While we're fortunate to have the Chief of Operations himself in the flesh here, we may want to ask a few more questions. I don't know if there's anything.
Yes, so Chief Mitchell, we were just talking earlier about how we would like to get an update on Park Mobile, the implementation of Park Mobile and how that's going, and so we want to see how that's working out in terms of the execution. And I know there have been some anecdotal reports of folks being ticketed even though the paid through Park Mobile, want to kind of hear what's being done to resolve that, but also, just how it's impacting revenue and, all the details. So thank you. Appreciate it. Yes.
Thank you, Chief.
All right.
Team.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move adjournment.
All right, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.